point, should the marriage really survive? Just survive? Should we just manage? Should we just manage
No,
relationships, or just surviving? Should we just survive?
no, you shouldn't survive.
Okay, guys, can we answer this question? Is it okay to just survive or just manage a relationship or a marriage? Golden.
I don't think you should manage. I also don't think you should survive if you use that word. I would rather use strive. Like, okay, you can strive in the marriage,
But that's the thing. With every relationship, there are issues that we can work and improve them. But once one aspect is broken, and the way it seems, if it can be fixed, like for example, you cannot fix sexual attraction between two people who don't have it. You can't force it.
sure, yeah.
So
Personally,
if
you
that
can.
part is broken and that part can be fixed, can that marriage still survive?
As I said, it will be hard.
Okay, so what you're saying
But
is very,
there's a
very difficult.
percentage that the marriage will survive, but it will be hard.
Okay,
Like, it will be difficult. It will not be that easy.
okay.
Yeah.
Blessing, Joseph, let's hear your opinion. Blessing,
Good evening. Good evening.
Joseph, and welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to stir up myself around the topic, but if I understand from what I've been hearing now, um, I think the last question you asked was, should marriage be endured or
Yeah, exactly. Managed. Yeah, we've always
managed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, I think marriage is one complicated institution, if you ask me, because a lot of compromise comes in, a lot of understanding comes in, because you have to do certain things you normally would not want to do because you want the relationship to succeed or to survive, as it were.
Yeah.
Be that as it may, I think you design what makes you happy, actually. And I think that's one of the reasons why one gets married, because you should get married to somebody that makes you happy, first of all, before sex. Because sex is just one instrument that makes you enjoy the relationship, but there should be other things that you enjoy in your relationship. Understand? Like, for instance, one could enjoy the company of his wife without sex, normally. So it's not about the sex, first of all. I should enjoy the company of my spouse before I want to have sex with her. And that company is what makes me like to have sex more and more and more, and without counting, and without even thinking, oh, we've had it 10 times in 10 years, or we've not had it 2 times in a month. You stop counting when you enjoy somebody's company. That's my opinion. So it depends on whoever is looking at it.
That's a very good point. I think that still brings us back to, like you say, first of all, it's very important to have that, like say, that connection, right? But then what you also said, that emotional connection will then lead us to the sexual intimacy or connection. Does that make sense? Which means that whether we like it or not, what you said is it's important to like the person and get on with the person, but it's also that should then lead us to that point where, we would have sex and it would be good because we have that foundation. And so at this point, you're not enduring. But in a situation where you might have the connection, but the physical or the sexual part is just not there at all.
Let me get you clearly. If you say it's not there, is it like
it's not happening at all? After
is it that they used to have it, or the thing it wasn't there before the marriage?
No, if it wasn't there, then that's fine. But let's say they used to have it let's say whether or not it was dead, at some point it stops anyway. It might be that they were not even having it before the marriage, or after the marriage, she had a baby or two, and then they stop. And it just doesn't, they're just there and I gave an example about someone who said he sees his wife as a sister or as as just a friend.
Well, to me, in that situation, I think that's they should see a doctor. That's not is not normal.
Well, at this point, exactly at this point, that's what I said. I said at this point you are just coexisting. And once you start, when you get to the level of coexistence, that's no longer a marriage.
No, then something
So
is wrong. Definitely,
exactly, then
becomes
the debate
abnormal.
of so the debate of whether or not the marriage is surviving is out of the question because there's no marriage in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
if in that kind of situation, I think they should see a psychologist because that has gone beyond normal. You can't see your wife your wife is definitely your sister, but you can't get to that point of cutting the
Yeah.
sexual intimacy because she's now your sister because obviously she's not. Then the thing
Yeah.
that's making it tell your brain that she's a sister
But I
it's
mean,
beyond normal.
but the thing is, okay. Let's look at marriages and long-term relations. Well, first of all, I'll deal with the questions here. Um, Blessing has asked on the chat. She has said, let's look at first of all, why do we get married in the first place? Why was marriage created in the first place? I think it's for basically for primary to have a life companion, primarily, and I think before secondary, I think the secondary purpose of marriage is then procreation. But that companionship involves both physical and emotional intimacy, and with the physical intimacy comes the sex. And so, in fact, if you get married and let's say you then say, look, I want to leave this person because he doesn't have sex with me. We've never had sex. That means that marriage has not been consummated. It is quite important to consummate the marriage. Thompson is saying I'm refusing to let him in. Let me see if she's now. That means that you. Oh God, yeah. Sorry. That means that the marriage needs to be consummated. If not, what you would then be doing is you're not filing for a divorce. You're not filing for an annulment, which means the marriage don't even happen in the first place. We therefore makes clear the fact that the consummation of marriage, which is sex, is a big part of marriage. So, which means that a sexless marriage, well, it's no longer marriage, if you like. Okay, but let me deal with that. Other than also posed the question and said that other posed the question and said whether a marriage or LTR, say a marriage or LTR can survive without sex as long as it's only temporary. Again, temporary, that's fine. We can deal with issues. But when it's permanent, then would that survive? Thompson, welcome. We'll be waiting for you. Thompson, can you hear us? Thompson. So, but Ada is saying it's only temporary, and that's fine. You can't have sex like rabbits every day. So, for whatever reasons, if you don't have sex for a period of time, that's okay. But if that becomes the norm, will that marriage survive, or are you just enduring? And should you endure the marriage? Thompson, welcome. We know you just joined. Again, the topic is whether or not. First of all, we talked about whether or not the first part. We talked about whether or not sexless marriage or long-term relationship can survive. And then that then led us to another point where we then said, look, should you actually manage or just coexist in a marriage or relationship? Should you just endure? Is that a good thing? So it's a two-part question now. So can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. No.
Well, Thompson, I need your opinion. You need to talk on this one because I'm just reading your comment. You said somebody said something temporary. For me, if the marriage is even for a week, you have to knock. Well, but then Thompson, fair point. But let's say the marriage has been for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. Is it possible to have, if at that point you stop having sex, can that marriage still survive, or you're just coexisting at that point? And if you're just coexisting, should you just manage the marriage then?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening and welcome, Thompson.
Please, matters like this, we need to be honest. We need to
Yeah.
be honest. Everybody is saying, no, some people might say sex is not the all-seeing purpose of a marriage. Some can stay. But the truth is that how long can you stay? Today, it's like you are cooking a meal. You eat regular food without salt or pepper. It will get to a point you will throw off. If you are somebody that is used to eating pepper, you will throw off. You see this marriage we are talking about after maybe some time. It is true that once you start living with a person for long, you see that initial that fire from the beginning, from the onset, it will not be the same driving force from the beginning to the end. It will get to a point whereby that that flame of sex will start to reduce based on the time you guys have spent together. It has been aging. So you cannot just be
Or just
like
based on familiarity.
at times there are times lovers start to live like brother and sister. That is why you see some men, they will tell you, I'm not your, some women, they will tell you, I am not your sister. I am your wife. Make me, you see it in home video or in reality, hear it. Make me your wife because one, to that man, that familiarity has actually killed the urge.
I think it goes both ways. Even to women, they get too familiar and go, they don't really make the efforts anymore.
And also, regular routine kills it kills sex in marriage. When you keep doing it one way, Papa Mama start from Genesis to Revelation. There is no expectation. There is no anxiety like, what is this man, what is this woman going to do next? You just know before the man even turn, you will just see some women, they will just lie down there. The man will say, you just there like log of food. You are not making, there is no fun in it. You are not spicing it up. Instantly, it will pursue the sex age into old age. Because one, there is no fun.
Very, very good points, actually, Thompson, you're raising here. Now, even when, because the point you're raising is a marriage can be sexless even when you have sex. Because when the sex is no longer fun, it's no longer, it becomes routine, there's actually no sex. Even if you are physically having sex. Does that make sense?
That is it. Some people are just used to stagnancy. They will just, they don't, even the food, it will taste one taste from Genesis to Revelation.
I think I agree with you. But let's hear that. Anna, what do you think to this? Like this, Philip as well. Ade, please, let's hear you guys. Blessing. Joseph Golden, let's hear you. Tamara. Now,
hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, go on.
I agree with Thompson. Like, marriage was created for like the two reasons you mentioned, for existence and for companionship.
Companionship.
So even people that don't love each other, they are not married. They will tell you, if you're a woman, don't sleep with a man, your male friend or a male you met under the same roof. Why? Because something might happen. They are not dating. They just say, okay, because of we are managing money, let's just sleep in this hotel. Instead, the man sleep on the floor and the woman on the bed. Either way, don't sleep on one bed because something might happen, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how it's possible for two couples staying in one house. I really don't think.
No, I think that's down to familiarity.
I really don't think it's. I don't know about family, but my own is marriage. I don't all LCR they can't exist without sex. They can't it's not possible, Even if you are raising a percentage, people that will agree to this, let's be sincere, like Thompson said. No, it can't really exist. If not, why are we there? Yes, because this at an extent, this not finish. We need to do other things.
Another question that would then arise is what distinguishes a marriage or a relationship or from other relationships?
Benita, I don't see nylon.
When does So let's say, for example, what distinguish, because if you have guys, you have female friends, and you know, ladies, you have male friends. Now, what makes that relationship different to a marriage or a boyfriend or long-term or partner relationship?
Oh, I don't know if people have seen some of the trending videos concerning what you are saying too.
Yeah.
People are
Okay.
saying a woman cannot keep a male friend for a long time because in the long run something might happen. Same thing with a man,
Well,
but it's most common because
I think
they
we've
believe
talked
that
about it before.
Yeah.
Well, we talked
good.
about can
So
female
if we
and can
put it
women
that
and
way, we
women friends.
already know the answer to it too.
No, no, no. But the question is the question I just asked is what distinguishes a marriage or partner relationship, or you say boyfriend and girlfriend or fiance,
Mm.
and just friends relationship. What separates it? Because I mean, if it's living together, you can live with your friends. If it's paying bills together, you can do that, right? But what makes a
It's
marriage different
It's
or
defined.
relationship?
definitely sex.
You have to define
No,
the
Sex.
terms.
huh?
It has been defined already because normal friendship is just friendship. But if I now say we are working in one direction as a
Harmony.
couple, yeah, it's defined already. That's the difference.
So basically, if you're working in one direction, you are working with direction. It's direction in one direction.
I don't understand that English. Say it again.
I said, if what distinguishes the relationship, when you decide we're working in one direction, it's with erection. So it's erection in one direction.
As friends, they can have erection in one direction too.
No, no, but that's no longer platonic friendship. You can say we're friends with benefits.
I'm
You can
trying
say
to go, yeah, it's still friendship.
that's what I'm saying to you. So what then distinguishes a marriage from that platonic friendship? Let's assume we are not having erection in that friendship or nothing. No
It's the
sex, nothing.
definition. You define the
You
relationship. You
just
say
said it now. There's going to be a definition of relationship. You
But
just
what
said
defines the relation? Okay, fine. Okay. What defines
you
it? What
friends.
okay,
Okay.
the point I'm getting at is this, right?
It's trying to say, Drew, wait, you are trying to say that friendship, what makes it different from like
A relationship
marriage
or a
or
marriage, yes.
okay,
Friendship, okay. If it's
yes.
male and female
Wait,
In
can
friendship.
I say
relationship, if we
wait?
are dating, at a point, no matter how we converse, share ideas, babies and all that, we have sex.
So
But if
the
we
Wait,
are
core
just
of it,
friends, we will not
yeah,
have